Yeah, they came out swinging. They did some damage on some fastballs. Kalenic started off hit, 2 pitches in. 2 runs down. They got to the fastball up. I was trying to get up there, and they attacked me at my strengths, and they executed their swings. And I got to tip my cap to them. Obviously, not the way I wanted it to go, but just got to turn the page on that one. That was rough.
When you say they attacked your strengths, did you feel like you were struggling with any particular pitch?
There was some miss with the fastball. That fastball to Albies was probably up, out, over. Fell behind, who was it, the third baseman? I can't remember, the righty. Fastball away. He drove that one away on 3-1 count. They just put some good swings together. I missed some spots. Just got to be better. Work this week, make an adjustment, and look forward to the next one.
Aaron said he thought you made some minor adjustments as the game was going on.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you tightened up?
We try to, slow him down. Just working with Trey, we try to slow him down. Some change-up mix, curveball, slider, a little usage of everything. But, man, they swung it well, that's for sure. I will say Gomi picked me up and, gave the bullpen a little rest. 5, 6 innings there, got us into the 9th. And, he did a great job tonight. So that was big for him, even though we lost. Sorry. Go ahead.
Did you feel like Atlanta was looking for that fastball early on?
Yeah, they were definitely attacking it. I wish I should have made an adjustment quicker, try to get to the slow stuff, but those need to be better, man. Not good.
You feel like you need to mix in that secondary stuff sooner?
Yeah,
forward?
that could be obviously something that could work. I tried that going in the second, third. Seems like I got ahead, and then they still strung together pitch by pitch there, even in the 2 strike counts, and still did damage.
When you got to the dugout at the end of the first inning, who were you yelling at?
Just pissed off on the situation. Emotions got going. I don't want to come to that first 3 runs down, and just a little fiery there.
Was it anything?
I gave up 3 runs, 2 homers. That's pretty much why.
What's been a good season for you and for the team? Is it tough hearing the booth there?
It's just part of it. I didn't perform, obviously, to the best of my ability, and it's just how it goes here.
Was you done anything this start connected to last start? Because you were very good before that. Was there any similarity between these two?
Eric, go look back at Boston, seemed they had attacked the fastball up in the zone and got to that slider. Then later on in the game started mixing some soft stuff in, strung together a couple zeros at the end of that start. And then going into this start, they kind of same plan where they're attacking the heater. So those would be the similarities.
Is there a feeling here that this is just part of the normal ups and downs of a very long season?
Yeah, we play 162 games, as you guys know. That was start number 16. Baseball's ebbs and flows, ups and downs, and it's all about the next one, that's for sure.
Aaron, what makes it tough for a pitcher when the opposing lineup's coming out that aggressive and swinging early in counts?
They got to his fastball right away, right out of the chute. So, Kalenic jumped him, and then obviously Albies got to one, looked like a little bit up and in there, put a good swing on it. And they were able to, put a handful of good swings on his heater there. I thought he battled and kind of settled in there a few innings where he was making some pitches and really started mixing it up a little bit. I think he made some adjustments in between innings. So, just tough night.
What is off with his fastball command?
I think it's just little small adjustments that I think he actually made within this outing. He made within the last outing. But just, I think things he and we're aware of, and, I think it's just a matter of making that last little adjustment, getting his lines to where he wants to go, and, not being far off from what we've seen most of the year.
Command issues with the pitch, or the Braves hunting that pitch.
Yeah, I'd have to look a little bit, but I think there were some small adjustments to be made, and I think he actually made those. And then, I thought pitched a little bit there in the second, third, fourth inning there, and Olsen got him with the home run there in the fourth. But in and around that, second, third, fourth inning, I thought he was better. He just, it was tough, and it's obviously a good hitting team, and they were able to take advantage of mistakes, but hurt him early with the heater.
Just to follow up on that, do you think he needs to maybe mix in some of his secondary stuff a little more going forward?
Oh, I thought he did a lot tonight. I think he continues to do that. That's in the bag, and he's capable of doing that.
Max. With how well he's pitched so far this season, he hasn't faced adversity like this, similar to last year. How do you think he handled tonight and his last start?
Yeah, well, really the last the Boston outing a little bit different in that, they really stung some balls in those first couple innings, and he really settled in, and to be able to get through five and the third, fourth, and fifth, he was pretty dialed in and executing at a really high level. Tonight was more of a struggle in and around that. It's part of it. It's been a rough week for us. That's part of it, and it's in a lot of ways not the worst thing to happen. Hey, I got to make sure in a lot of areas we're tightened up, and everything's kind of gone our way, and reminder that hey, this thing's hard, and we'll kind of get through this little stretch here, and Carlos will too.